CVA's AccuraSeries, Bagara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
This segment's being brought to you by 3rd Regiment Game Calls. Friends, family, and faith in the outdoors. One call at a time. All right, everybody, it's time for this week's Pictures of the Week. They're being brought to you by our friends over at Flowers Garden Center and Deer Processing. They'll be all ready for you guys to come in there starting on September the 26th with the opening of the archery season, and they'll be open from then on till the end of the year. So be sure to get in there and get some of the best snack sticks, smoked bologna, anything you want from those deer. These people make it, and they make the best. Tell them thank you for everything they do for us right here at the show. All right, our first picture here, this is Addison Johnson, and this is a really nice smallmouth, Tracy, that he caught on his kayak on Dale Hollow this past week. So congratulations on that one, Addison. We've had several pictures from him in the past, but that might be the best smallmouth I've seen him put in the kayak.
That's a nice brown fish.
Very nice one. All right, our next picture here, this is Deacon Blair and a couple of nice stripes that him and his dad Dayton put in the boat a couple of days ago. You was talking a while ago about tight-lipped, on your holes. I can't never get them to take me to the good holes where them big stripe are right there. They'll take me, Dayton, to put me on them little ones. He won't put me on those big ones. Congratulations on that, Deacon. All right, our next one here, I love this picture. Our buddy P.B. White, he's been on the show with me a couple of times. He took his mother, Margaret, fishing on Lake Barkley here recently, and it looks like she had a pretty good day. That is a nice looking fish. So congratulations, Miss Margaret, and get him to get you back out there again soon. And right here on the end, I love these here. This is Byron Hodges sent us this picture, and this is his son Lucas, and this is Lucas's very first fish. So congratulations to little Lucas on that, and to Byron, because I know how that feels. There ain't nothing like that. So congratulations to both of you. Keep them coming. Y'all can send your pictures to us here at 474 James Robinson Parkway, or get them to me on Facebook at our Southern Woods and Waters page, or on the email right there on the screen. We'll get them on the show here just as quick as we can. All right, welcome back to the studio. Again, I'm joined tonight by Tracy Taylor, and he's from Taylors Archery, and you guys are in Tullahoma, and of course you got people come from all around, to
we got some good customers,
to visit you guys. They come from everywhere. What I want to talk a little bit about tonight, Tracy, first of all, just a little bit about you guys. How long have you been doing this? And
since '92.
Okay, so have you been in Tullahoma the whole time in that area?
No, that's our 3rd location, but we've always been in that general area.
So you've had same people coming to you for a long time, and so I bet you have seen just in the changes. I know I was talking earlier about how much I used to shoot, and that was back in the say mid '90s up to early 2000s. But from '92 to now, if we were sitting here in '92 and you were holding a bow there at the tip of your leg,
it would be up here.
Yeah, you'd be propped up here with it. It had the big wheels on, and it's come a long way.
It's tremendous. It's amazing. It really is.
The advancements in technology that they have placed now, or have in place now, what we used to consider a fast bow, to today's standards, it wouldn't even get you started. It'd be like an indoor bow or something.
And everything holds together. It lasts better. It stays in adjustment better. The qualities. There's no comparison.
Yeah, the engineering. Again, just the engineering has come so far in that amount of time. Now, what kind of bow do you have with you tonight?
This is a Bowtech Revolt X. That's what I'm taking elk hunting this year. I've been very impressed with it.
Okay. Well, let's say it's preseason, guys. Y'all are getting your bow out for the first time of the year. You're going to take it down to Tracy. You need to let him check it out, make sure everything's good. What's the first thing you're going to start looking at, Tracy? Like, what are we looking for as far as might be an issue, something that might be we need to look at?
Usually this time of year, it's people replacing their strings and cables just because either they're worn out or they've got damaged.
Yeah.
I'll have people come in and they ask, how long should they last? Man, that's a real open-ended question. Yeah. It depends on how good a care you take of them and how good a quality they were when you bought them.
That's right. So it doesn't necessarily matter if you've shot that string 100 times or 1,000 times. If it's gotten wet, moisture can affect them, heat can affect them. Lots of things. Little snags, you're walking through briars with them.
That's why you use one of those slings like you got on your boat.
That's right. Yeah, I've got I've got a sling here. I brought my bow in tonight too, but this sling right here, it protects my strings, my peep, my
cheap
my
insurance.
cams. It is. It's cheap insurance. It makes it easier to pull my bow up in the tree that way.
Yep.
But anything that we can do to protect our archery equipment. I mean, it's not something you just want to throw around.
It's a big investment, man.
And beat up and bang in the bushes. You really want to try to take care of them. But you want to check those strings and cables, make sure you don't see anything that looks visually, wrong with them. But sometimes things, it can get out of whack without you really seeing it, and it can be a dangerous situation. I actually was telling Tracy, I pulled my bow down. Well, I've had my bow down for a few weeks, but I pulled my quiver down tonight. It was up in my gun room there. No, nothing can reach it. Nobody can reach it. I pulled it down, and the arrow looked odd to me. And I pulled it out, got to looking at it, and the arrow was broke. I mean, it was flat broke sitting in my quiver. The only thing I can figure is the last day of the season last year, something like that. I don't know if I shut it in my truck door, if I hung it on something. But had I found that out in the dark after I loaded that up on my bow, because it wasn't just literally broke in half, it could have been a dangerous situation.
Oh, I've got a cam off of a bow at the shop that a guy was shooting several years ago and nicked it with a broadhead. Next time he shot it, it blew it all to pieces. It's a fractured arrow like that will send you to the hospital.
It will. I mean, it can be really dangerous because once those limbs start flying and strings start flying, it can be a dangerous situation. No different with your crossbows. You need to have those checked out. You need to go have them serviced, have them looked through. You may not need a new string. You may not need anything, but that's what you'd rather hear.
You might just need reserving.
That's right. If you take your car in to get the oil changed on it, that's what you do. It's maintenance. Right. You got to do the same thing with your bow. A lot of times they just kind of get neglected, because people get them out for bow season. They shoot a few weeks before season and bow hunt, and they go back in the closet and you forget that they're there. But they really do require, a decent amount of care and just looking after them. But once you've gotten that part down pat, there's not many more things more enjoyable than shooting archery or hunting with archery.
Oh yeah, it's the best.
It's something that I did for many years, especially with the competition archery, and just the people that surround that in general, just great people, and the atmosphere is wonderful. It's a way to shoot year round, and we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up in the next segment. But guys, we're going to go over right now. We're going to do this week's product of the week. This week's product of the week is being sponsored by our good friends at Caney Fork Outdoors. You guys can find them at cfoutdoors.com or get off at the Center Hill Dam exit, go down to the bottom of the hill and take a right. You'll find them down there at the Big Rock Market, and they can fill up your belly and get you on the river all at the same time. So be sure to tell them thank you for everything they do for us here at the show. All right, guys, I'm trying to line it up. Here we go. All right, last week we had a crappie fishing show on, and I was talking about what I call a crappie rig, and that's what we were using to catch crappie that night, but also sauger. And these little rigs right here, this is a high-tech. This is from High Tech Fishing, and I picked these up at Poindexter's up in the Gallatin area there. If you guys are familiar with Poindexter's, and that's where I like to get these at. But this is the rig that I use and that we were using last week to catch crappie and sauger both. Just the way that these beads and these little spring spinners you see right here, when a minnow swims around on one of these, it actually will circle around the hook and allow him to swim in a circle around your line. And there are two hooks that'll go on here. Now this is a size 1. I usually use this size 1 or a size 2, and I actually do that varying on the size of the minnow that I'm using. I'll go down to a smaller hook if I have a smaller minnow. But you can get these also at www.htent.com. But I suggest stop in and see the folks at Poindexter's and let them get you some. And these right here really have put a lot more fish in the boat for me as compared to using just a regular split shot rig or something like that. I have a lot better luck using these crappie rigs than I have since I was a kid, and that's what I'm going to keep on using. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
More crappie is a good thing.
That's right. More crappie is always a good thing. And I did not mention, by the way, on the bottom here is a clip, and there's you put a bell sinker on there, and I'll use different sizes just depending on how deep I want to be or the conditions we're fishing in. But just a simple rig, it's a great way to take kids fishing, get somebody out fishing that maybe don't have as much experience at casting and stuff, drop these things right down in there on them crappie, and I'm telling you, there's a great way to catch them. Guys, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to open the phone lines for you, and we'll have some more Southern Woods and Waters.